Ever since the 14-inch MacBook Pro was released, I've been consistently using it daily, both portably and at my desk setup. I've been able to test out many different products that enhance the user experience, and today I will share with you guys my 10 favorite MacBook Pro accessories. If you guys don't know me already, my name is Jaden. I go by Jaden's Random Reviews on YouTube and Jaden Coyer across all other platforms. If you guys do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe down below with those post notifications on so you never miss a future upload. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have a MacBook skin. Now, I picked up mine from Fishkin for around $26, and this was easily one of the best accessories that I've got for my MacBook. If you're somebody who's easily paranoid if one of your devices gets scratched or dinged up, then you may want to invest in a skin. Not only does a skin protect your MacBook from getting scratches or getting dinged up, but it also looks cool. On the website I purchased this skin from, which is Fishkin, they have tons of different skins to pick and choose from, so you can pick one that either fits a color scheme in your room or setup, or one that you think complements the color on your MacBook. I picked up a MacBook skin that has many different shades of blue, which I personally thought looked cool. It's also my favorite color and matches my color scheme in my room. The installation process was extremely simple and only took me around 2 minutes. I first started by peeling off part of the paper from the skin, lining it up with the top portion of my MacBook, and then slowly working my way down, make sure everything was lined up perfectly. After the skin was installed, I did notice that there were a few bubbles inside of the skin, so I took an old credit card and simply just kind of pushed them out. And within 30 seconds, I got all the bubbles out and my fish skin was successfully installed on my MacBook Pro. And for only $26, this MacBook accessory is both practical and makes your MacBook look cool. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have AirPods. Now, you probably think that AirPods are only used with an iPhone, but they're just as convenient and easy to use with your MacBook. If you've never had a pair of AirPods, I'd highly suggest picking some up. They're super easy to connect, they're wireless, have plenty of battery life, and sound amazing. If I'm using my AirPods with my iPhone and I want to switch the connection from my iPhone to my MacBook, it's as easy as going in the Bluetooth settings and just simply hitting connect, and it'll automatically switch over the connection from my iPhone to my MacBook. And I can go back and forth between connecting to my iPhone and my MacBook super quickly. So if I want to use my phone connected to my AirPods, I can do that within seconds. With the newly released AirPods 3rd generation, this is a perfect medium between the original AirPods and the AirPods Pro. And if you have a little bit of extra cash to spend, I would highly suggest investing in the AirPods Pro. They sound absolutely amazing and the noise cancellation is so helpful, especially if you're in public places and you really need to focus. If you're not a fan of earbuds, a solid alternative is picking up a good pair of headphones. When I'm editing at my desk setup, I've been using the Sennheiser PC37X, which is an open back headset, and I've absolutely loved them. Sometimes I just don't feel as immersed when using earbuds, and especially when I'm editing videos, I like to be able to hear every bit of audio so I can accurately edit my video. The headset sounds amazing and it's super comfortable, especially for long editing sessions. Sadly, it is wired, but if I'm editing for hours on end, I don't have to worry about plugging in my headset. While the speakers that are built into the MacBook are surprisingly good, it's always nice to have a pair of earbuds or headphones to use when using your MacBook. Next up on the list, we have external storage. Now, when I dropped a bag on the brand new MacBook Pro, I had already spent $2,000, and the thought of spending any more on my MacBook didn't cross my mind, especially when it came to storage. Now, the standard storage for the MacBook Pro is 500 gigabytes, but I quickly filled that up since I do edit a lot of footage on my MacBook. I picked up a 1 terabyte Western Digital external hard drive for only around $50 on Amazon, and I'll be linking all the products that I mentioned in this video down below in the description. Instead of spending more for internal storage, I decided to take the other option and buy external storage, which was so much cheaper. This hard drive for me is dedicated purely for camera footage, and whenever I'm editing a video, I simply just plug it in and then import all my footage into my editing software. Obviously, internal storage is so much more convenient, but if you choose the other option and choose to buy external storage, you save yourself a lot of money. Next up on the list, we have adapters. Now, while both the 14 and 16-inch MacBooks are known for many of common ports being brought back, I still find myself using many accessories with my MacBook Pro. I picked up a USB-C to USB-A mini hub for around around $15 on Amazon to use with my desk setup. This allowed me to plug in my mouse, keyboard, and any other USB device to my MacBook. I also picked up these mini single USB-C to USB-A adapters, which I've found to be super helpful if I'm only plugging in one USB device. If I'm on the go and I want to use my mouse with my MacBook, all I simply have to do is plug in that single adapter, plug in my mouse, and then I can use it with my MacBook because I personally am not a fan of the touchpad. Obviously, with the new MacBooks, the need for a hub with this MacBook setup, if you're using it at a desk setup, just isn't there because most of the common ports are brought back, especially the SD card reader and the HDMI slot. So I only had to invest in 2 adapters that were just used for USB devices. Next up on the list, we have a monitor. Now, if you're planning to use your MacBook at a desk setup, investing in a good monitor is essential. I picked up a 34-inch 1080p ultra-wide monitor, and sadly, since it's not able to support the crazy display that the MacBook Pro has, I'm still able to use it for video editing, and it has been absolutely amazing, especially when it comes to editing on such a big timeline. When it comes to my workflow for both school and video editing, having a good monitor is essential, especially when it's hooked up to my MacBook Pro. Next up on the list, we have a MacBook stand. Now, if you plan to use your MacBook at a desk setup, a MacBook stand is a great way to bring your MacBook off the desk, and you can even use it as an external monitor. I picked up the Book Arc MacBook stand, which holds my MacBook vertically. Sadly, I wasn't able to use my MacBook as a second display, and that's because I was limited when it comes to space. There are plenty of MacBook stands to pick and choose from, and I'll link a bunch down below in the description, but I'd recommend getting one that you can flip up the lid so you can even use it as a second display. But since I was limited to space, this was the only option that I had. I picked up my MacBook stand for the hefty price of $50, and this was purely just because it held my MacBook vertically rather than being able to flip it up. Obviously, if you buy one that's you're able to flip the lid of your MacBook up, it'll be a lot cheaper. Next up on the list, if you do plan to have a desk setup for your MacBook, it's important to invest in a solid mouse and keyboard combo. I use the Drop Control TKL Keyboard paired with the Glorious Model O mouse. I understand the Glorious Model O is a gaming mouse, but since I already had it laying around and it wasn't doing anything in my closet, I thought I'd use it for my productivity setup with my MacBook. The TKL keyboard that I've been using with my setup, I custom built with some Holy Panda switches and some MT3 keycaps. The TKL layout has easily become my favorite layout when it comes to productivity. I just feel like with the 100% layout, the number pad was just useless and just took up way too much space. But with the TKL, I have functions, arrows, and this is perfect, especially for video editing. Obviously, my mouse and keyboard isn't wireless, which does make it a little bit difficult if I do plan on bringing both my mouse and keyboard somewhere. It just takes up a lot of space with all the wires. So if you do plan on getting a mouse and keyboard, I'd recommend picking up a wireless mouse and keyboard. Logitech makes great wireless keyboards and are known for having arguably one of the best productivity setup mice, the MX Master. Next up on the list, we have a desk mat or mouse pad. Way too often, I see people when they have a MacBook setup, they use their mouse on their desk, which is horrible. Investing in a solid mouse pad is essential, especially if you're going to be using your MacBook at a desk setup. This will prevent your mouse from scratching your desk and will also provide a uniqueness to your setup. I've been using the Gutsy Aiden mousepad, specifically the Sky mousepad from his Island collection. I'll link his website down below in the description. He has plenty of different mousepads and designs to pick and choose from. The quality is absolutely great, and if you're looking to spice up your desk setup, this would be a great purchase to make. Next up on the list, this accessory is kind of unnecessary, but I've found myself using it more and more, and that's a controller. While MacBooks aren't designed for gaming with how powerful both the 14 and 16-inch models are, they're able to run high demanding games surprisingly well. From time to time, I find myself plugging in my PS5 controller, launching Steam, and playing Injustice 2, and with how crazy good the display is on the MacBook Pro, it's an enjoyable experience. Some games aren't supported with Xbox and PlayStation controllers, so just keep that in mind if you do plan on doing light gaming on your MacBook. Last but not least, we need a place to safely store our MacBook if we're going to be using it portably, and that's where this backpack comes in. This is the Ridge weatherproof backpack, and I've been consistently using it for the past 3 months or so, and it has easily become one of the best MacBooks, especially when it comes to portably taking my MacBook Pro. It has a dedicated spot for laptops with plenty of cushion, so you won't have to worry about your MacBook getting scratched. In the main compartment, it has plenty of space for many of the accessories that I listed in this video, and it is a great all-in-one solution for carrying many of of the necessary accessories that I use with my MacBook Pro. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe down below with those post notifications on so you never miss a future upload. In addition, I do stream over on Twitch, so if you have any questions about literally anything that I mentioned in this video, click the link down below in the description and I'd love to help you out in my stream. With that being said, thank you again for watching this video and I will see you guys in the next one.